Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker, and I'd like to strongly support the points about pet theft made by my right honourable friend for Chingford and Woodford Green. And as Second Church Estates Commissioner, I also strongly welcome the addition of faith leaders alongside sports coaches, both of whom are added in the bill to the professionals such as teachers, social workers and doctors, for whom it is illegal to have a sexual relationship with a 16 or 17-year-old in their care. This is in line with the recommendations of the Independent Inquiry into Child Sexual Abuse and is absolutely right. I want to spend the rest of my remarks in giving voice to the everyday experiences of one of my female constituents in her early 20s. The cumulative impact of these incidents amount to very serious and wholly unacceptable antisocial behaviour of the very worst kind that can lead to a severe lack of self-confidence and well-being. Over the last year or so, she's told me that she has been touched inappropriately and called a prostitute by a strange man on her own doorstep, been continually catcalled by walking down the street, been groped without consent in a nightclub, been catcalled in a seriously offensive manner from the street while fully dressed in her own property, being harassed by a group of men in a pub, having her bottom commented on by an older man while filling her car up with petrol, having her figure loudly commented on by three boys while on the underground, with no one else in the carriage asking them to stop, being followed by a much older man in an unwanted manner over coffee after a church service, and having a man lie to her about his singleness when he was married and asking her to meet under false pretenses. So if you're not free from sexual harassment in your own home, in public, in a pub, in a nightclub, at a petrol station, on public transport, or after a church service, where indeed are you safe as a young woman in our society today? And the tragedy, Madam Deputy Speaker, is that these experiences are all too common for many younger women. And it's vital that male members of Parliament call them out. Now, while there is so much that we properly expect of the law, the police and the courts, they cannot change a whole culture on their own. That is where our common community life, our families, and indeed every single one of us has a role. It is up to all of us to set a culture to uphold the values of decency, respect, and honouring women that should be commonplace. In particular, it is up to all of us, and especially men, to challenge the unacceptable behaviour of other men. The behaviour I described earlier is not manly anyway. It is cowardly, bullying, pathetic, and wrong.